And YouTube live stream just isn't as much fun.
I get 5 times the viewers on Rumble live stream than I ever got on YouTube.
Really?
Yep. Yeah. YouTube was suppressing me heavily. So that's another thing. If you have dissenting ideas, I'll say this to anyone at home. If you have any kind of opinion at all and you think that YouTube's better for discovery, perhaps it is. But if you get any kind of fan base, it's better to be on Rumble because YouTube will suppress you. They're what did we say earlier about algorithms and how they're trying to make you as profitable as possible by learning your behaviors and then trying to alter your behaviors so you spend money. They'll do the same thing to alter your behaviors so you're suppressed or so you don't speak as much. If you speak about a certain subject, you get less views, which will make you less inclined to speak about that subject because they want to control the populace. We're living in an information war. It's all an information war. And these huge platforms are the weapons of war they're using against us. I saw a really interesting video on Twitter the other day about Alicia Keys during the Super Bowl performance. And it was someone recording the TV screen with their phone. And the first note she hit, or one of the first notes, was a sour note. She messed up the note. And then when they watched the video back on YouTube, the note was perfect.
Really?
They altered history.
Wow.
And they're saying that that's how scary it is, that if I hadn't seen this in real time with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe she'd missed that note.
Yeah.
And if I look it up on the internet, she hasn't missed a note. So as far as history is concerned, after I'm dead and this video is gone and everyone forgets in a few weeks from now, as far as history is concerned, her note was perfect. They have altered history. They alter history by controlling the information. That's only a singing note. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But wait till that applies to everything else. And it already has. Every single war you look up, the good guys, the bad guys, who did what, why, who won what war, it's all a lie. Everything's a lie. If the news we get now is a lie, imagine how big of a lie history is. Bro, you want to go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Every single thing you think you know about the good guys and the bad guys in history, and it's all a lie. So it's scary. So, yeah, I mean, how do we even find a solution to these things? It's extremely difficult. But that Alicia Keys video, for some reason, really concerned me. It made me think, if they can alter history over something as unimportant as a singing note.
Well, the crazy part is eventually someone's gonna be like, remember when Alicia Keys missed that note?
No, she didn't.
And they're like, yeah, no, she didn't. Oh, cancel this guy. This guy's spreading misinformation.
Why are you lying about Alicia Keys? Then he'll get a lawsuit, a defamation lawsuit, and he'll end up paying a bunch of money. And he'll say, but I know she sung it wrong. And they say, well, we've looked up the note. It's perfect.
Yeah, they will gaslight you.
I'll give you an example. I guarantee if you look up the COVID pandemic on Wikipedia, it sounds terrifying. This amount of people died. This many people were locked in their house. You had to get the vaccine. You needed 8 of them, or you were susceptible to a winter of severe illness and death. This many people in this country died. You couldn't travel. You couldn't fly. Borders were locked. People couldn't go to funerals. You couldn't see your grandma. You were stuck in your house. We had to do, you'd look it up in 100 years from now and go, whoa, that was scary. And what was the reality? The reality was I was walking around with no mask on, telling everyone to get fucked, and it was fine. They've altered history. They've literally altered history. The version of history you're going to read, it was nothing like the actual event. So we live in a post-truth world.
Yeah.
Like, it's besides your own eyes, what can you trust? And that's what's even scary, because there's a huge contingent of the population who don't believe their own eyes.
Yeah.
They'll sit there and look at a man and go, that's a girl, because they're told to. So if you can't believe anything the Matrix tells you, you can't believe anything the history books tell you, you can't believe any study, because the study says the vaccine was effective. So you can't believe any study. All you can believe is your own eyes. And there's a huge bunch of the population who don't even believe their own eyes. This is why, going back to the very earlier point we said, when I said, I don't let women drive me, and someone comes, well, insurance statistics say, vaccine statistics said. So I don't give a fuck what insurance statistics say. Let me tell you what I've seen. Every single time I see a car hit a tree for basically no reason, it was a chick driving. So I don't get in a car with women. That's what I've seen with my eyes, and I'm stubborn and I believe them. But most people don't even believe their own eyes anymore. There are people who will be in a car crash with a woman 10 times and then read those insurance statistics and go, I must be wrong because the Matrix told me they drive better than me. And then go and just get back in the car.
And that's concerning, because newspapers like the New York Times, they are the record keepers of history.
Yep.
And in 50 years or 100 years, or we look back 50 years, like what happened 50 years ago, you look at the New York Times and that's what happened.
Yep.
Regardless of what really happened, the New York Times decides what's truth.
Yep.
And they are so biased in their opinion and how they present facts now.
You're a misogynist.
I'm a misogynist. You're a misogynist. And even if all we did was support women, if it's in the New York Times, in 50 years, that's how history will remember us.
That's right.
And I think that's a scary thing. People don't realize how manipulated our realities are.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter if what you believe now, because later they will convince you believed otherwise.
That's right. So if you look up the BBC archives, I'm the worst man in the world. I'm the most dangerous person on the planet. The fact that, the UK hates me the most, but the fact that UK has a stabbing epidemic, an acid attack epidemic, random people turning up on the borders without passports, homeless crisis, energy crisis, old people freeze to death because they can't afford their electricity bills, food is crazy, inflation, it's just entered a recession. The entire country is failing in real time by every metric you can measure a society by. And what do the politicians talk about when they go to parliament? Andrew Tate said women can't drive. Andrew Tate said women can't drive. We need to stop this man. Insane. What they're actually doing, and I don't think many people realize, is what politicians and the elites have come up with this great idea is that they don't want to fix any of the problems of society. What they want to do is attack the people who highlight the problems of society. So we have all these problems and we don't want to fix them. So let's get anyone who tells people about the problems in trouble so that nobody talks about them so they can continue rampantly. So they don't want to fix the crime in the inner cities, but if you talk about it, you get in trouble. That's what they're doing now. They're shutting up the people who point out the obvious as opposed to fixing the things that need to be fixed.